We are here and we are glad and we are going to let you know how to get away with murder in 15 minutes. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh man, so exciting. LBJ, these time constraints are making me batty.
Oh man, it's like I don't even know if I should even like breathe, if we should introduce ourselves. I probably shouldn't even say what I'm saying right now and the words that came before what I'm saying right now.
We're wasting time.
We are wasting time. We're trying to do this in 15 minutes. We want to let you know how to get away with murder in 15 minutes. This is our HG. Take two. This is our HTGAWM in 15. Hashtag all of that. This is our chat in 15 minutes. I'm Larry Brown Jr.
And I'm Janiyah Wright, and this is so exciting for us. We have never done a chat with this kind of time constraint, and we are going to today, in 15 minutes, recap the first episode of How to Get Away with Murder, this wonderful ABC show. Episode 1, the pilot.
Right. That's such a creative name for the episode, right?
Very creative.
So let's go ahead. Let's go. I got tongue tied. Let's go ahead and get started and figure this out.
I'm buckling under the pressure.
We are nervous. We are really nervous. We actually have 13 minutes and 38 seconds left in this show, and we have got to barrel through so much. We are wasting so much time lollygagging and laughing. Normally we're not this tongue tied and we're not this wrapped up. We need help, and we need you to help us. So bear with us as we work through this. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and get started tonight and talk about the people that we met.
Yes.
This show, I mean, this again. It's first of all, kudos to Shonda Rhimes for creating. For leading such a project with Viola Davis leading as the cast and everything, leading the cast in How to Get Away with Murder. Speaking of Viola, she is the lead character in this show, and we meet her as Professor Annalise Keating, and she's a criminal law professor at Philadelphia's Middleton University, right, Janiyah?
Yes, and not only is she a professor, she is the professor. She's the sought-after professor. And her class, her primary class, which is actually Criminal Law 101, she affectionately calls it How to Get Away with Murder. And as the episode progresses, you start to realize how well titled, how well named her class really is. Because that's literally what they're talking about, LBJ.
They are. They're literally talking about how to get away with murder. Let me just jump in and say that I was so impressed in how she delivered, how she ran the first class. And it was very creative how they played out the first class because we got to meet other characters in the story. We met out the gate. We met Connor Walsh. Connor Walsh, he's the first student called. Yeah, and that...
Yes, the first student called when she was doing that really that competition, and you hear about that. You know, I didn't go to law school, but people talk about how competitive these classroom environments are. Viola Davis, Annalise Keating, she kicks off class day number 1 with a competition among the class, and we start to meet the standout students. The standout students in the class are going to become the people who will join her law firm, because she's also a practicing attorney. These are the people that will join her law firm for the rest of the semester. And so we start to meet those standout students. The first one you were just talking about, LBJ, Connor Walsh.
He was the first guy out of the gate called to answer one of the rapid fire questions from Professor Annalise Keating. And Connor, you know, when they correct me if I'm wrong, but Connor was just like habla habla. Connor was kind of like we are right now in this chat. Like we know we know that we can speak. We know that we have answers to things, but we may not be too sure about how this whole 15-minute time restraint is working because we've got 10 minutes and 57 seconds left in the whole show. Right. So okay. Connor is the first one out the gate that we meet while they're going as they're going through the rapid fire questions. Then after Connor, we meet and then we go to my homegirl, and this is my homegirl Michaela Pratt. Right? Michaela Pratt was Eager Beaver out the gate, like me, man, I can do it. I know it.
Yeah. I think Eager Beaver is an understatement. I wish there was another little way to use, you know, some commonly used phrase to express, you know, her. I mean, eagerness is an understatement. She was prepared. She was ready to go. She literally was sitting in the front row basically to say to the world, you know what, this is my class. all the rest of you are welcome to join me, but I'm going to run this thing.
Yes, yes, it was good too. It was good. To me, Michaela was one of those kind of people where it was like, hi, like I'm a Howard alum, and Janiyah, you're a Howard alum as well. Full disclosure, not that we need to disclose anything like that, but for me, it was one of those things where it's like Michaela came with the spirit of excellence, like we have, and she's like, hi, I'm in law school. I'm going to show you that I'm going to be the beast in the class, and I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to answer, hey, and like Annalise kind of checked it, like, hold on. Honey boo boo child, wait a second. You're not that hot. Don't interrupt me like when I'm in my flow.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, if we were back at Howard, I don't know if I'd be friends with Michaela Pratt. She so far is not rubbing me in the right way, LBJ. I don't know if I like her attitude.
Okay, but what do you think?
Let's see how things pan out.
But what do you think though about another character, another student, Wes Gibbons? Is it Wes? Yeah, Wes Gibbons. What do you think about him? Our friend Alfred Enoch, that's his real name, from Harry Potter.
You know, here's the thing about this character, Wes Gibbons. You figure, he definitely, you give him a little warm fuzzy from the very beginning because, he's just gotten off the wait list. He's clearly not prepared for class. He's sitting in this tenement of an apartment with the walls all scraped up, with mean neighbors. You're worried about him. You're wondering, is he eating? Can someone buy him a sandwich? And so for me, my first feelings for Wes Gibbons were pity. But LBJ, they're teeing him up to be someone who's lurking in the shadows, ready to attack and become a star player. You know who else is hanging out in the shadows, LBJ, is Laurel Castillo. What did you think of Laurel?
Oh gosh, Laurel Castillo is one of those people where, Laurel is kind of like gray. It's like, how are you feeling today, Laurel? Oh, I'm feeling dark and stormy, but I'm still happy on the inside. Like, she's one of those kind of people because she really tried to go to the aid. Laurel really tried to come to the aid of Wes Gibbons in the class, and she really tried to save him. And it was so funny because what happened with Wes and Laurel actually happened to me in real life, like when I was in middle school, or high school. All I know is that I tried to come to the rescue of someone that I knew, or tried to come to the rescue of someone in the class. Granted, it was just like, okay, Larry, are you trying to do too much? Are you trying to show off? Like, what's your motivation behind offering this assistance? And Laurel came to the rescue of Wes because Wes is just like, I'm not like. He was all over the place.
He was the worst.
He was the worst. And so Laurel comes to his rescue, and Annalise is just like, she pulls another one of those things, and she's just like, wait a second, don't you ever try to take a learning moment from one of my students ever again in my class. And then poor Laurel is just like, but all I was trying to do was help the boy out. So I appreciate Laurel's character.
When Annalise Keating turns around and like looks at Laurel, don't you kind of hear like that music, that kind of I can almost hear the organs.
Yes,
right?
totally.
Playing as a soundtrack. Because Annalise Keating, she is letting those students know, listen, it is my way or the highway. She is literally, LBJ, she is laying down the law. The last student who turns out to be one of her people that she kind of lets in, she's impressed, Asher Millstone. He was the last one, right, LBJ?
He was, yes. Asher's the last student.
Mm-hmm. And so we met all these students. All of these students win this coveted opportunity to work for the law firm. And then we get to the law firm, LBJ, and we meet our next couple of key players.
Yes.
Let's talk about the associates.
Okay, so we get to the law firm. We get to, is it Keating and Associates?
It's Keating and Associates.
We get to Keating and Associates. Sounds like another firm from another show that I'm just saying.
I'll rub my chin.
Right.
Yes.
And so we meet these other associates at the firm, and the associates are Frank Delfino, and we meet Bonnie Winterbottom. What a last name is that? Like, why is she a Winterbottom?
I
thought that was fun.
Mm-mm.
Right, exactly. So we meet Frank and we meet Bonnie, and Frank and Bonnie are, the students are like clamoring. They're calling for the top. They're like, I'm going to be the person who wins the opportunity to be at this firm, to intern at this firm. I'm going to be the person to get this job. And so the association is like, these kids, like you kids.
Not impressed.
Right, exactly. But they're clamoring for this trophy, though, that has been placed in front of them as bait from their professor, and we find out that this trophy kind of looks like the one that was apparently used as a murder weapon that we found that ends up let me go back, that ends up being used as a murder weapon for a murder 4 months later from the moment that they were in the firm, if that makes sense to you. Time is a factor in this show.
It makes sense, LBJ, because that's one of the great attributes of this show is how we're jumping back and forth through time. Yeah. You know, there is one case that the people are working on in the present day, which is the aspirin assassin case.
Tell us about the aspirin assassin, Jedi, because we've got 4 minutes and 47 seconds left in this show.
Oh no! Okay. It's too much pressure. I'm gonna buckle. So the aspirin assassin case is this case of an assistant who is a mistress, and her boss, her lover, he gets killed because someone replaced one of his high blood pressure medicine pills with an aspirin. And guess what?
His pressure pills. His pressure pills.
Which I could use one right now because I use this 15 minutes. Time restraint is going to take me out of here. But someone has killed this boss. This woman is literally right now being, she's up on trial for this, and Keating and Associates is defending her. Long story short, LBJ, they get out of it because the primary witness is colorblind, LBJ, and could not actually identify any of the evidence, the pill evidence that had been submitted in the case. So they find this minor technicality, get the whole case thrown out, LBJ, only to find out that guess what? Not only is that mistress guilty, but she was working with who? The wife.
Yes. Yes, juicy.
So juicy, but still less juicy, LBJ, than the case actually involving all of the main characters in this episode. And this is the time period we're talking about, LBJ, where we jump 3 months into the future, right? And at that point, this is when, again, as you were saying, that murder weapon becomes an issue.
Okay, so tell me this, Janiyah, with 3 minutes left in this show, in 1 minute, tell me about the coin toss, the importance of the coin toss, and what that has to do with everything so far as we begin to wrap up our first 15-minute recap.
Okay.
2 minutes and 20 seconds, go.
Okay, so we have seen that 3 months in the future, all of these students, these key students we've named, they're huddled in the forest in the cold of the night, with a decision to make, LBJ. And the decision is, do we go back and get the body or do we leave it there? So
Come on and preach.
We're sitting there, get the body. Who's been killed? What is going awry? We don't know. But we do know one thing. They have the murder weapon there with them in the woods. And it is what? It's that trophy that is the prize that is also, a key part of the student experience at the university.
Right.
And so somehow they have taken this prize, LBJ, and they've used it to kill someone. We don't know who it is. They end up going back to the murder scene, which is what? Keating and Associates, and wrapping up the dead body in a carpet. We get back to the woods to bury the body. We flip the coin, decide to burn the body. And then LBJ and the body is about to go up in flames. We realize that who is dead, LBJ? Who is it?
It is the husband of Professor Annalise Keating, and the man's name is Sam Keating, who Wes found out earlier that was her husband. So, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this sound, that means there's really 2 minutes left in this show. But Janiyah overtalked the sound effect. It's a lot of pressure. First of all, take a moment and give her a hand for all of the things that she did. Because Janiyah, you did that. You did that. You made it happen.
We'll get better and better.
But literally, there is 59 seconds left in this show. And so, with all of this, with these 15 minutes that we have, Janiyah, how exactly do you get away with murder?
LBJ, I learned a lot. But primarily, the main thing you need to do if you want to get away with murder is to really be aggressive about using chalk on a chalkboard. I mean, you have to really get in there and list things really, really passionately. And so that's what I learned. What did you learn from this episode, LBJ, about how to get away with murder.
You know what? With 28 seconds left in this show, I learned that you can get away with murder by enrolling in a great law school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And what you will learn, or Middletown, Pennsylvania, and what you will learn is that you get away with murder by enrolling in the class of a professor, a lady professor who has a deep voice and she talks like this. Yes, that's how you get away with murder. And we have 4 seconds left in this show. We made it, Janiyah.
Yes, that is how to get away with murder in 15 minutes. We will see you here next time for episode 2.
Have a good night, everybody. We love you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.